This podcast is a part of the Podmania podcasting network. Check out podmania.co.uk to check out more of our great podcasts, features, reviews, match ratings and previews spanning the crazy and diverse world of professional wrestling.
Hello everyone, to the Stardom cast, and it's weird. It's weird hearing my voice opening this. If you follow us on Twitter, you'll know that Rob can't make it this time out. I hope he's back soon. I do miss him. I'm not a massive fan of doing solo cast, but we can't miss the 5-star. We can't miss the 5-star finals. So fuck it, I'm doing it live. What I'm gonna do here, because I haven't actually watched it yet. I know how it turns out. I won't spoil it. I'm gonna let it escalate. But I haven't watched it yet because it got spoiled for me, and you know what it's like when wrestling gets spoiled. It kind of you're just sort of sulking for a wee while, and then it's like, fine, I'm gonna watch it anyway, and it ends up being just as good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch each match and then give my immediate reactions to the match. Partly because I can't be asked taking notes, but also I just find when I'm doing a solo cast, this is how I prefer to do it. Like when I used to do a Young Lion on my own, that's how I did it for like the G1 or the Best of Super Juniors. I'd watch the match and immediately jump into reviewing it because it's just easier. Automatic reactions to matches are great because when I have time to think, I overanalyze it and like play 3D chess against myself. So I think this is the best way to do it. Yeah, let's just jump into it. So, I just watched Momo Watanabe defeat Sairida with the B-Driver, and that was great. That was really good. Oh my god, that is like a testament to what the wrestlers of Stardom can do when given 6 minutes. I don't think there's anywhere that's better at short sprints than Stardom, and this kind of just shows it. The story is obvious. Sairida's on 0 points in her first 5-star. She desperately does not want to end on 0 points because then she's in the ranks of like Ren Narita and the rest of Super Juniors, and you don't want to be a Young Lion. You want to come off as something cool. Like even the other Saya managed to get victory, so you know she doesn't want to end it badly. And she did. But the beginning was ace. She was just kept going for roll-ups, because of course she did. Because if you look at her other matches, she just came out the gate with like chops and drop kicks, trying to throw bombs. And especially against like Momo, but also against other opponents she had, like Jungle. Of course that wasn't going to end well. That was never going to end well. So, of course, she just goes for the roll-ups because it's not going to end well if you go for bombs. It actually didn't go well when she tried to throw bombs because when Momo throws out a kick, she sells it like a gunshot. Oh my god. And this, again, it's just a testament to short-term storytelling. Momo finally put her down with a B-Driver in like what felt like a fully complete story within 6.5 minutes. That's beautiful. That's an amazing feat because short matches like the Champion Carnival, they don't feel complete. Like when Zeus and Swama went to 8 minutes, that didn't feel complete. But here, with 2 minutes less, it feels complete. I'm never going to not be amazed by that, by how they can take the time and perfectly pace the match to fit that time. This gets a mid to high 7. This was really good. Definitely Saya's best performance of the tournament. And oh my god, this has me hyped now. I'm just looking forward to the rest of the shows now because this was great. Worth noting here, Himeka beat Saki Kashima in a non-tournament match, but I'm not reviewing non-tournament matches. There's so much to get through anyway. I'm going to review the entirety of the finals, but on random block nights, as is normal protocol, we are not bothering with random off-night singles or tag matches. I'm sorry, but we just don't have the time. I'm sorry. But Himeka beat Saki Kashima, and from there we just move on. Def Yama-san, the eternal spoiler. Def Yama-san just beat Konami in 5 minutes with a roll-up. Konami went for like a triangle answer, and then Def Yama-san rolled through, and this is fine. This is like, again, it was like every Def Yama-san match, except at one point Konami did a really nice German suplex on it, but other than that, it's every Def Yama-san match. I'm not going to rant, because, like, Dev Yamasan's harmless, apart from when she's playing spoiler, but that's kind of her point. She is like what Yano is in G1, what Sakuraba is in the N1. It's weird because they were like, okay, we need someone to do quick spoiler matches, so we're going to get like an MMA guy instead of a comedy person. It just sort of shows there's a dissonance there. But yeah, this is fine. Like 5 out of 10. I don't care about Dev Yamasan matches. Let's just move on. Like, I don't care about Dev Yamasan matches, but I'm willing to move on if you are. Quick interjection with a non-tournament tag match. Rio and Jungle beat Hanan and Starlight Kid, with Jungle using a sharpshooter on Hanan. Okay, let's move on because nobody cares. It has taken about 5.5 million years, but Natsuko Tora put on an actual like match with a structure and moves. I'm honestly just so surprised, and she didn't hang anyone. I'm so proud of her. So this is Natsuko Tora being Azumi in about 7.5 minutes with the Marashitten. I can't say it properly. That's what Rob's normally for. But this was great. Azumi playing cat and mouse at the beginning. That was some good shit. Azumi's like by far an MVP of his tournament. And at some point, I'm going to put together like my averages of people's ratings in this tournament to sort of have a definitive list of who I think was best. Tora will be near the bottom, which is a shame. This sort of proves that when Tora can put things together, it can be something good, because this was a good little 7.5 minute match. I'd give it like a high 6, verging on a 7. If Azumi had a bit more of a hope spot, she didn't have much of a hope spot in this match. Some roll-ups, some really good roll-ups. She's great at roll-ups, and a really good top rope stomp, because she's just good at everything. Is Azumi? She's 17 and she's like one of the best wrestlers in the world, and she's 17. I hate her. I don't like talented young people. I don't like talented young people who are younger than me. That's not allowed. I feel so inadequate next to some of these wrestlers. But this is great. This is unbelievable. Well, so I say great. It's great by Tora's standards. I'm just kind of mad that she didn't see this potential through the rest of the 5-star now that it's nearing its end. Like, I'm still down on Eradicate. I'm kind of happy that B's back. Spoilers. Big spoilers. But, like, with Eradicate, they're just lost right now. Like, I get Saki had to pull out because of injury, but I don't think her involvement in this would be much more help. Even, like, I don't know, would Natsu Sumire being in there help also? I don't think it would. I think they really do need the Gaijins. They need Session Moth. They need B, and they need Jamie. And in my opinion, anyway, I know some people have been defending Tora. I think they're wrong, personally. Like, I get the argument of that we need sort of rogue elements in a round-robin tournament like this, but when I think of a rogue element, I'm thinking of, like, say, if you're looking for G1, Yano or Jay White with his interference, but like this goes into evil territory of just go away. I'm so done with you. Like evil right now, or Tamatonga, just go away. It will hopefully get better now that the Gaijin's back, but like I'm not holding out hope. Eradicate sort of been the worst thing about Stardom since Stardom came back, and it's a shame. It's an absolute shame. So between that match and this one, I took a wee break. I got myself one of those Monster Energy drinks that has so much sugar and so much caffeine, but by the end of this recording, I'm going to be able to see through time. You're going to slowly descend into madness with me, and it's going to be great. Is this madness? Because Tulsaya just had one of the best matches of the tournament. May force her to silver leg, which we'll get onto, because the start was fun as well. They were all jumping around, Tulsaya doing her cartwheel, all fun stuff. And then she left her leg open on the apron, and May pulled it down, and she was selling it for basically the rest of the match. She had some hope spots where she could have been selling the leg more. Like, she hit kicks, and to be fair, she did hesitate before going for the pin to sell the leg, which is... it's a sign of improvement, which I'm very happy to see. And I do sound like a broken record when it comes to Saya matches. She didn't sell it at all after the shooting star press, and she basically lands on her knees there. Like... it's weird to me that she has, like, the facials and everything else and the charisma. Like, again, wrestling psychology 102 without 101 where sell the fucking leg. But she did show great times improvements. Her hope spots had me on edge. I literally thought in some of those roll-ups and on that shooting star that she might have Mayu. And then Mayu basically just bombs her and wins with the dragon suplex, which I'm really enjoying as a finisher. I'm really enjoying people using alternative moves. We've said this in every podcast as well, but it bears repeating that those extra moves, they add drama to a match, and it also means when Mayu eventually does hit the double step dragon, it means something, which is great. It's what people complain about. Oh, finishes mean nothing. What Stardom finishes mean so much. They mean a ton. Has Jungle Kiona even hit the jungle bomb throughout this whole thing? I'm pretty sure she hit the jungle buster, but not the jungle bomb. And has Momo hit the peach sunrise? Has Utami done the torture bomb? They're not coming to mind. I'm sure they have, but like for the most part, like they've been running with splashes and like alternative moves, which is great and amazing. And I love Mayu. I love Mayu so much. She's definitely superstar of the year. Well, wrestler of the year, despite Brand. I'm trying to think who might beat her. Maybe Masato Tanaka, but he's done nothing since dropping the title. Maybe Nakajima in Noah, but he's nowhere near as consistent as Mayu. Maybe I'm struggling. Shingo. I think it's between Mayu, Shingo, and Suzuki. I think that's fair to say. In terms of what I watch, I obviously can't watch all the wrestling in the world. But Mayu's MVP of this tournament is a head pick, but she keeps getting 8 out of 10. No one's getting 8 out of 10 as consistently as Mayu. So I think in terms of a pure head pick, not a heart pick, it's Mayu. We shall see next time once I've tallied up everything. Because I'm not doing the tallying up for this podcast. This podcast is going to be long enough already. But this match is great. Go out your way to watch this match. Great 10-minute match. Again, 10 minutes and it feels like a epic. I don't know how we do it. I literally don't know how we do it, but it's amazing to me. I'm going to get this out of the way right now. That was the match of a 5-star thus far, and with only one day to go after this and only one match left on this card, which being Utami versus Micah, I don't think that's going to be topped. I can't see it being topped. It could possibly be topped. Well, there's Momo and Jungle on the last day. Mayu and Tam. Okay, there's plenty of opportunity for it to be topped, but oh my god. Tam is the master of matches that go around 10 minutes. She has another 9 out of 10 on. This is 9 out of 10, by the way. Under her belt that go around 10 minutes this year, and that's the Kagetsu match from earlier in the year. But I sort of put that down to they have a rich history, which they made very explicit in the opening segment of that match, and Kagetsu is as inherently special as Tam. I don't think Julia is anywhere near the level of a Kagetsu. But Julia was great here. Tam kind of just bombed her to begin with, and then went up top, and then we were slapping each other, like proper slaps, like ow, on the top. And then they were just scrambling to get their big moves in. There was a bit where Tam's trying to hit the tiger or dragon. Tiger. It's the tiger she does. And Julia flips over and hits the backdrop driver. Oh my god, amazing stuff. And just amazing. Just they start bombing each other into the ground, and I can't stress enough how much I love that. This match is no filler at all. I would take this kind of 10-minute sprint over a half-hour Okada match where the middle means absolutely nothing any fucking day. Just go out your way to see this. Top 10 Stardom matches of the year? I'm trying to think what's above it. Loads is above it, but it definitely cracks the top 10, I feel. Great stuff. Just go out your way to watch this. You will not regret it. Then again, if you're listening to this and you've got this far in with just me talking, maybe you probably have seen it, I think. But if you haven't, and you're some weird person who just likes listening to my voice, first of all, hi Jared, this is for you. I hope you're called Jared. And also go watch this match. Jesus Christ, go watch this match. It's so good. Micah versus Utami was very good. It felt like if their match from the Cinderella tournament in March played out, which is good. Micah's power moves, I brought it up last time when she tried to pull them out against Jungle, and they didn't quite land because, I don't know, they didn't feel too powerful. They were they were hit and miss here, but there was actually hits. The brain buster she did was lovely, but the spine buster she did was not. So maybe drop the spine buster, especially if you're going against Utami or Jungle, who are much bigger than you. But other than that, this is really fun. A lot of judo throws. Like, oh my god, so many judo throws. You do get the sense of, while these two may not hate each other, they definitely want to have one up on each other. Like, you sort of got that in the Cinderella, and that was definitely carried over here. Do I agree with it? It doesn't really matter if I agree with the result, does it? But yeah, I like how strong they've made Michael look. I like how strong they've made all of DDM look in the block stages so far. We, of course, still have the final day to go. But DDM looks strong. DDM looks almighty coming out of this, which they've really solidified them in like the opposite way of which Oeditai has been established. It's really odd. But yeah, Utami was without a doubt the MVP here, putting out some lovely bombs. Those Germans, especially the deadlift. My god, I thought Micah had died. In terms of rating for this match, I'm feeling a light to mid 7. I might go high 7. This was really good. A couple of things held it back. These two do gel, but something just held this back from greatness for me. I can't quite tangibly say it. It just didn't land for me. Although, what also didn't land for me was Ishii versus Desperado, and I keep getting told how good that is. So, maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm just completely stupid. Anyway, we're about to go on to the last day of block action. So, give me a second. I need to tot up the scores and see who is in contention going into the final day. Going into the last day, it looks like, if my maths is right, for Blue Stars, my maths might be wrong. This is why I'm only doing this briefly. Momo isn't. Well, Momo's in it if Micah loses both, and then Utami loses to Shuri. So it's between Momo, Micah, and Utami, with Micah needing to win at least one of her 2 matches and having to have Utami lose. I think that's how it's falling in Blue Stars. Whereas in Red Stars, I think basically half the block's in there. Himika's still in there, Konami's still in there, May's still in there, Tam's still in there. So it really depends on what happens in those matches. So Mayo or Tam need to beat each other, and then Konami needs to beat Himika. Really, Himika's still reigning over this block. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Let's find out together. You probably already know. I already know. I don't know why I'm pretending I don't already know. I already said it was spoiled for me. Oh, side note. Shiri also has 2 matches, so she is also only just holding on in there. She needs to win her matches too. But maths isn't my strong suit. I'm talented in other ways. Yes, the battle of judo throws. And also some kicks. It was great. This is really good. I love inter-faction warfare. It's one of the reasons why I love the G1, and I loved it here. This is probably 2 of their stronger performances here. It's verging on an 8. Not quite. It didn't have like the closing sequence for an 8, but like this was sort of an extended squash for Shuri. She kind of just put Micah down, which makes sense because she's a lot more tenured than Micah, who I think is still technically a rookie. I'm not sure. She hasn't been going for too long in any case. And to be fair, this is probably the best display of a power move because she just used it and it looks more like a belly-to-belly than a spine buster. So good job, Micah. But beyond that, it was just getting kicked into the ground. And I don't know what to tell you. I do love kicks as well. I love Nakajima so much. So I think if I'm right, Utami, because Micah holds the keys to her own destiny here. No, because because Micah holds a win over Utami, that means that Utami needs to win her match later. But if Shiori wins, Shiori could go through. Yes, I think that's the case, which is exciting. It might not be the case though. I think it is. Maths is not my strong suit. Son of a bitch. But yeah, this match is great. Probably both women's one of the stronger performances of the tournament. I'm feeling a high 7, to be honest. A high 7. It's so close to an 8. Literally like an extra minute of an ending sequence, and this would be an 8. So, Starlight and Saya Kamatani decided to go out there and have a 2007 X Division match with all the same trappings as well, like not a lot of selling, but some cool moments, like at the beginning we kept him the kip up together, and I was like, ooh, fuck me, that's amazing. And then we were just sort of flipping around the ring, running into each other, and it was great, and it was fun. It wasn't quite like a classic, but it was still really fun. And then Shiori debuted a new move, and this is what I really want to talk about. Good, because the running shooting star is impressive, but like as a finish, it's diluted, and I don't like it. And so this sort of Falcon Arrow thing that she brought out works perfectly for her, I think, especially since she shows to be a good psychopath. That's a good psychopath move, so I'm into it. I'm liking it. This is really good. I'm going to give it like a mid-7, even a high 7. Yeah, I mean, this match is very mathematically unimportant, but in the grand scheme of things, you want to go out with 5-star with as many victories as you can, and this is a fairly big one for Saya, so I'm into it. I like it a lot. That was fine. It was Julia versus Death, and there's not much to say. They strangled each other with shirts at the beginning. Actually, it's quite funny. At the beginning, Julia did like the Luigi thing from Smash Bros. Hit her in the throat. Looks like it knocked Def Yamatan out. She played around with the limbs. Always fun to see. And then Def Yamatan almost rolled her up. And then after that, they tried to kill each other by choking them with shirts. And then it was a Def Yamatan match. And I was unhappy that they hadn't succeeded with the shirts earlier. Julie showed some personality. And then after the match, which she won, ending her 5-star campaign on 8 points. A respectable number for your first 5-star campaign, but kind of in the shadow of both Shuri and Micah, who are still in it on the last day. She's announced that at the Budokan the Yokohama Budokan, not like the Nippon, on October 3rd, there's going to be a new member of Donna Del Mondo, which should be fun. Apparently there's rumours. I stay off of Joshi Twitter to avoid spoilers, so I don't know these rumours. If I had to speculate, I know nothing but the wider world of Joshi, so it would be a bit ahead of me to speculate because I don't know about all that many names unless we're in like Tokyo Joshi Pro and we appear in DDT. So maybe Sakiaki would be cool, but she's contracted, isn't she? So who knows? But still, like more this roster does need a few more bodies, especially after a 5-star where everyone's been fighting each other. So nothing but a good thing can come from this. Oh my god. A legitimate match of the year contender with a sub 10-minute runtime. When is the last time that happened? I cannot think of the last time that actually happened. This match was incredible. It was Tam versus Mayu. Mayu beat Tam, and oh my god, it started with a German suplex. It's like the first time Kawada and Misawa ever met, and Kawada straight away drops him with a backdrop. It's like this sets up how important it is to these two, and then Mayu starts decimating Tam's leg, and then Tam just starts suplex citying Mayu, and it was just an amazing sprint, and it wasn't even hateful. It was just desperate. Both women were desperate. They don't want their 5-star to end here. They didn't go that far to get that far. That makes sense. So, oh my god, it's just yes. All of this, all of this. It's not much to say. That's the thing. It's just a sprint. It's just one big sprint, never stopped, but somehow never sacrificed selling. It's a feat of wrestling as a performance art. Like if Vegeta versus Go in Noah is sort of a damnation of how far wrestling epics have went and displaying that in a weird art piece. This is proof that they don't need to go that long. This is proof positive that sub 10-minute matches have worth, and I think that's why it resonates with me, because it sort of helps that issue I have with matches going long, and that problem I had with this tournament where like all the draws felt super long. And yeah, it's just lovely. Legitimate top 10 matches of the year. This I cannot. I didn't think anything like that would come out with 5-star. Like, it never really does, at least for me. Like, they're always like fun sprints, always worth mentioning, always worth checking out. But I'm never going to top anyone's list. But it's top my list here. It's going to. The only Stardom matches beating it in my mind are Jungle versus Mayu, the Kagetsu retirement match with Jungle, Momo, and Mayu, and Mayu versus Ahura. That's it. This is like 5th best Stardom match of the year. Easy. Very easy. Nothing's going to top that. Nothing's going to top that. That being said, as the blocks stand, Red Stars is almost set in stone. So basically, Konami and Himika win. They win the block. And if Mayu wins... No, Mayu's already won, sorry. If it goes to a draw, Mayu goes through. So, literally we have 3 people who could get through to the finals, and that's lovely and amazing, and I love it. Oh my god, I can't wait. This is why I love wrestling. Let's just go on to the next match. So that was Himika versus Konami, and well, Mayu could have went through on a draw. That was never ever gonna happen. So it was basically, this was a block final for Red Stars, Konami versus Himika, and it didn't feel like a block final. It felt like any other like standard 5-star match, and it was fine. Konami shooting for leg locks and submissions, and early going couldn't do it because of Himika, so I had to outmaneuver her, but Himika just outpowered her and won. It was just kind of fine. It was just kind of alright. I kind of didn't get the feeling of a grand block final from it. I just got this is just another match, and what mostly makes it good is I know that there is stakes, but there's nothing in the match that made me feel like there was elevated stakes beyond other 5-star matches. I don't know, I feel bad saying that, but like, this match didn't capture my imagination at all. Like, high 5, low 6 for me, and I know I'm going to be called a dick for that, but I can't help this. It's just how I feel. Damn it. Maika versus Zumi was pretty good. I think these two complement each other really well. Like, we have sort of similar styles. Of course, there's differences. Mike is more likely to throw a bomb than Izumi, etc. But, on the whole, I think these two complemented each other fairly well. Not amazingly, this wasn't an amazing match or anything. There wasn't even that many nice bits. It was just a nice little flowing match, both shooting for their various submissions. Izumi eventually winning, and it was kind of sad, because like, the main bulk of this match is a booking purpose. Like, if Izumi wins, Maika doesn't go through. Izumi wins, Maika doesn't go through. It's now down to Utami versus Shuri. That's actually some really good booking right there. I'm actually really pleased with how that booking went, because it keeps things exciting going through the whole 5-star. You don't always get that. You sometimes only have 2 people in contention on the same day, meaning every match on the card is statistically relevant. Here, most matches are statistically irrelevant, but loads also aren't. Like, the next 2 matches, Momo versus Jungle and Saya versus Tora, are basically statistically irrelevant. I'm looking forward to Momo versus Kiona. That's probably going to be fucking great. But Saya versus Tora, it'll probably be fine. It'll probably be short. I hope it's short. But that Maika versus Zumi match, I'm feeling like a high 6. It was fun, and I enjoyed it. Saya Iida has points. Probably not in the way she was hoping, though. So they started out with like Iida attacking Tora from behind, throwing chops, and then it went into roll-ups, and those roll-ups were like proper GDC stuff. You're there going, oh my god, she's going to get a point. And then B. Priestley comes back, and I'm going to reserve my thoughts on that until I have Rob with me to discuss it with, because I want to see them out on a limb here. But also just hits a B trigger, hits a final cut, and then she gets hanged, as in Saya gets hanged for the disqualification. Like, it was a really fun match while it lasted, and then it wasn't. I'm feeling a 5 on this one. I think a 5 is fair. Like, I ended up coming out of it with absolutely no strong feelings, but I had strong feelings during. So maybe it's less because I am actively annoyed now. 5 feels about fine. This was just fine, which is more you can say for most Toro matches, so I'm completely fine with that. I'm kind of happy that Ida got 2 points, but I think it would have been better for her to be less than 0 and then have like a vendetta going into the next year's 5-star. Would she even get into next year's? Actually, with Gaijin, she might not get in. Then maybe it was the right choice. I don't know. But this is where Rob would normally come in. But this was fine. It was just fine. Don't go out your way to see it, though. There's nothing worth seeing here. Oh, Jungle came out and saved Saya. So, I guess that's just going to go straight into the next match. Momo versus Jungle. I can't wait. That was really good. Shuri versus Utami and the Blue Stars final. And I feel this is what I feel this is what Micah and Utami go for. It's just Shuri is a lot more tenured, so can pull it off better. But that's not anything against Micah. Micah will get there. I believe she's still a rookie. But this was just fucking great. Taking advantage of small things like lots of lariats leaves Utami's arms open. So Shuri goes for a lot of arm bars. It's so natural. Why don't we do that? Also, Shuri goes for what I think was a powerbomb, and then Utami lifts her up into a airway crash. It just flowed. That's what the Micah matches are missing. This had a really nice flow, and it made the bombs hit harder, like those German suplexes near the end. And then how desperate Shuri was getting. Shuri is really expressive, almost to the point of being annoying sometimes. Like, she screams a lot. Rob's pointing this out, and I didn't really notice it until I pointed it out, but now that I can see it, it's just there, and it can be annoying. But here, it works so well, being so expressive as the time limit gets closer and closer and closer. And Utami not really getting as desperate, because she can get through. She still hit some bombs. She hit her torture rack bomb near the end of this match, right as the time limit expired. Just great stuff here. Go out your way to watch this one. Mid-8, I'm feeling. Just good stuff. Going on to the finals. It's a bit unfair because Himeka wrestled, a 10-minute match, whereas Utami wrestled a 20-minute draw. And right before the finals. That's a bit unfair, that. Then again, that's a good David versus Goliath thing right there. David's injured. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I did not see Himeka being a heel. She'd been playing babyface the whole time, but I guess he can't not be heel here. It was still really good. This was really, really, really good. So Himeka versus Utami, 10-minute finals, you know that. The use of finishes or supplementary finishes throughout this 5-star has really elevated this, because we're both hitting moves that won them 5-star matches. But we didn't finish the match, but you on the edge of your seat because, this finished this guy. Like Himeka's Psycho Driver, who she's used to finish loads of people. And I was like, that's it, and it's not it. Despite the fact I knew the result. So it speaks to the quality of this match. It does suck you in. I was gasping at a couple of these near falls. But this is simple. There's not a lot to talk about. Like, this is just sort of elevated as a tournament final, as most tournament finals would be. But Utami sold her fatigue really well. Obviously, this wasn't a fair fight because Himeka had like an hour to rest since her last match, and Utami hadn't. She was in this moments after a 20-minute draw. So she was definitely fighting from behind, and she does that really well. We sort of saw it in the Arisa match earlier this year, that Utami fights really well from behind, and it made for real compelling viewing. This only went 10-ish minutes, but again, the Stardom roster can tell a half-hour story in 10 minutes, so really that was a blessing, because it was as long as it had to be, and that's all you can really ask for. I'm giving it an 8, a soft 8, maybe even a medium 8. Really good stuff. Now, on the subject of 5 stars as a whole, I'm going to wait to share that opinion fully. I'm going to touch on it here before I sign off, but I think I should wait for Rob so we can discuss it a little bit. But I really, really enjoyed this year's 5-star. Nothing really match of the year quality until the end, but like always solid, consistently within the 6 out of 10 range plus, which is more than you can say for the Champions Carnival, even more than you can say for the G1. Like, some matches fell below by certain people, again, we'll not mention them. If I had to pick MVPs, I am going Konami, Mayu, Utami, obviously winner, and Himika. Himika comes out of this on a completely other level. And that's the magic of a round robin tournament. It can make stars, and this year's stars as Himika, and to a weirdly lesser extent Utami. She has ascended, I feel, but like not quite as much. Shuri, I think it's a shame. I think she had that match with Momo. We'd be singing a different tune. Because she was ultra solid. She didn't really set a foot wrong. It's just she didn't have a great performance until the last match. And it is a shame. That Momo match probably would have been an absolute blow-away match. They have chemistry, as we've seen in 6-man and 8-man tags. But yeah, that's been the 5-star Grand Prix. I'm sorry, I just realised upon getting to the end here, I do not really have the time, and I need to get this up to preview the next shows. There's not been a lot added, so I think we can just let the talking for shows be done when we review them next month. That being said, please join our Discord, the StardomCast Discord. Please follow us on Twitter at the StardomCast. Follow me on Twitter. I'm just going to say my actual Twitter handle at Chris Loves Puro. Follow Rob at the real Rob Goodwin. And yes, signing off. I'm so sorry if you listened to this whole, where we at, 35 minutes. I'm so sorry, because I ramble, and that's kind of why Rob's here, but Rob can't be here, and we need to review 5-star, so you had me. Thank you for listening. I'll see you later. I'll see you. See what I mean? I'll see you next time. Bye.